What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. I'm glad that Sam and Alexis were pretty much laying down the law with Molly and Christina because today just wasn't the day for all that back and forth arguing. I don't blame Sam for being frustrated. Like, she's about to go into a very serious surgery. She got a lot on her mind. It's in a very invasive surgery. I know her mind is on the surgery, it's on her kids. And all Molly and Christina can do is keep bitching and going back and forth at each other. I don't blame Sam for exploding the way she did. And I'm glad Alexis stepped up and let them know, like, enough is enough with this bullshit. This is about Sam right now. We need to be there for her. This ain't about y'all. Y'all need to come together for once. And don't get me wrong, do I ever see Molly and Christina like being, the way that they were? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Maybe. But it's probably gonna be a long ways off. Um, but Molly wasn't wrong though. When Molly told Chris, like when Molly found out about the incident at the restaurant, she wasn't wrong. Christina definitely made another dumb decision because by losing her temper, you just basically handed a victory over to Rick and Ava. You basically handed them a win because if they can get her to do that, not only did she do that in public, and you got people who saw that, you know what I'm saying? They can use that against her. And now Rick is gonna go up against her on the stand. He gonna rip her a new one on that stand because it's not gonna take much for Rick to make Christina lose it. All he gotta do is say one or two things in a calm way. She gonna flip her lid. Like, he knows how to push her buttons. She's not that different in temper from Sonny. Just how so many people know how to say certain things to get Sonny to flip out. It don't take much to get her to flip. And Rick now knows that. So she played right into his hands. She should have kept it cool, calm. She should have been collected. But nope, she had to give him that Corinthos temper and look at you. Sink in the damn case. So I can't blame Molly for being upset about that, but this just wasn't the time for all of that. Sam got a lot on her damn mind right now. Ain't nobody got time for going back and forth. It is sad though that, time with Sam is winding down. Like, that's some sad shit. Like, to think that we're not gonna get Davis girl scenes like this anymore in the future. Because I love the Davis girls. Like, I love those scenes, especially when the other actresses were playing it. It was so much fun. So to know that we're losing that it's a hard pill to swallow. Moving on from that, I'm glad Lucas, met Isaiah. I could definitely see Isaiah working at that hospital. Like, it's a matter of when at this point, because he definitely gonna work there. I totally get where they coming from, because that ventilator, I see why they're like coming together to figure out how that ventilator got turned off, because that's uncommon. You know what I'm saying? For that to happen. I feel like Cyrus had something to do with that. I definitely feel like he got something to do with that mess. Like, I just feel like his fingerprints is all over that. I hope Isaiah, though, I do hope that he gets on staff. I would be extremely happy if he is a member of the staff there. I think he would fit in well. But I definitely seen some stuff on social media where people was feeling like, if they put Isaiah on staff, they're going to push TJ to the side. I can see where some people are coming from with that, and I really hope that that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? I hope TJ doesn't get pushed to the side because of Isaiah. I hope not, because why they both can't be, two doctors on staff or three doctors on staff? Why all of them can't be, shown? Lucas, TJ, Isaiah. Why they, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to push anybody out. I wish we would see more of TJ actually in his doctor capacity. But yeah, I really hope that they find out Cyrus has something to do with that shit and they bust his ass. Moving on from that, I enjoyed the little visit with Liz and Lucky and them, reminiscing and stuff like that, and talking about Aiden. I be feeling bad for Liz though, because this chick stay at that hospital working hard, and here she is over at Laura House stepping in to kind of help babysit and stuff. Little Ace, I'm like, oh hell no. Not only did she have to babysit for a little minute, she also had to go back to the damn hospital. I said, no, they be working that girl to death. Like, she need to get out and get a life outside of that hospital. Like, I love that she's so dedicated to her job, but she need to get out that hospital sometime. Go have a girls' night or something. Go have some fun. You know, do something. Let her hear them. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy herself. Go out there and two step. Especially with the kids being older now and, in college and one more in the house, it's like Liz need to just go out and have a good damn time at this point. Like, this is her time. She raised her kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though raising your kids never really stopped, but still, they older now. It's time for her to have a life. You know what I'm saying? Start letting loose and cut up. Um, but yeah, it was good to see her and Lucky reminiscing, having a good old time. I wonder what the complication is though. When Terry was talking to Laura about a complication with Lulu's surgery, I wonder what complication she talking about. Like, what now? Like, damn, y'all done found out Sam is a match. What is the issue now? Like, what are we getting thrown with today? And I also love the Tracy and Laura scenes. Like, I loved it. Tracy is funny as hell. When she said little Ace is a terror, that shit was funny. I'm like, Tracy, that boy is a toddler. You can't handle him. But she ain't lying though, because trust, I got family members like that. When they were toddlers, oh my God, they can be a handful. Like, they can be. They will have you chasing their ass up and down steps, yelling, running, just they will keep you busy. So I definitely feel Tracy on that, especially at her age. Absolutely not. I wouldn't be doing it. I don't like to do it. Like, when people be asking me, oh, can you babysit? No. No. Like, these kids is too much nowadays. Like, hell to the no. You better get somebody else to do it. Find them a good daycare or something. Pop for a nanny if you can. I'm just saying. But yeah, I love that, Laura gave props to Tracy and stuff for, helping with Lulu when she was a teenager and whatnot. And I don't blame Tracy. Like, she kept it real. She was like, listen, at that time, I was not ready to be nobody's step parent. And I felt her on that. Because, she got thrown into it and stuff, and it wasn't easy. But I love the relationship her and Lulu built over time, and I'm loving that friendship that her and Laura have built over time. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know it wasn't easy because they used to, have some words about, over Luke. So I'm glad that they're in this space now, where they're cool. So anyway, moving on from that. You know what? I don't blame Sasha. I am so glad Sasha ran to Robert to let him know about the possibility of her being his daughter, because Robert was dumbfounded. He was like, what the hell are you talking about? He was looking at her like, daughter, what you talking? But I'm glad that they both realized that doing a DNA test at the hospital was out of the question. I wouldn't trust GH. I wouldn't trust that hospital lab. Absolutely not. So I'm glad they sent it off to an independent lab, to a WSB lab. Good for them, so that way they can get it accurate and they know that, Holly can't mess with it. I don't blame Sasha though for being upset at the possibility of Robert being her father, because then that would mean that her boyfriend is her cousin. So I don't blame her for being upset by that, because she has worked hard to get some happiness in her life. It took her a long while to get out that dark place. She went through a lot of shit, as we've all seen. You know what I'm saying? So now that she's finally in a place where she's happy, she's in a relationship again, you know what I'm saying? And she's not about to let Holly take that from her. And I don't blame her one little bit. But I am glad that her reasoning for not wanting Robert to be her father is, not because she disliked him. It's simply the Cody stuff. And I'm glad that that's the only reason, because she was like, she would actually be honored to have Robert as her dad. And he said, he would be honored to have her as his daughter. But I also hate this for Robert. I hate this for Robert, because then that means that Robert's daughter has been in town all this time, going through all this stuff, and he was in town, but he wasn't there to like help her through none of this. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there to hold her, to hug her, to comfort her. Like, he was not there for that. You know what I'm saying? Which sucks. He was robbed of that. He was robbed of, being there for her when she was pregnant. Being there for when the baby was born. You know what I'm saying? He has a grandchild that died that he didn't even know was his grandchild. He has a son-in-law that died that he didn't even know was his son-in-law. It's a lot that he missed out on with that girl. Being there for her during her drug addiction, all that type of stuff. Like, being there for when she went through hell with that, that Gladys. Like, and the crazy part was he was in town for all of that, but he just didn't know. And Holly robbed him of that. She robbed Sasha of that. Rob Sasha of getting to know her sister. Robin and her kids and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, Holly got a lot to repent. And that's why at first I found it crazy how casual Robert was acting when, Holly came into the office and, trying to tell him that he got a daughter. He was like, well, you could start with Robert, you have a daughter. He was very nonchalant about it. And I think the reason he was nonchalant, in my opinion, I feel like because he's known Holly so long that he's not even shocked by her bullshit anymore. I don't think he's surprised by her nonsense. I really don't think he's surprised by it anymore. You know, but I'm glad he know now that there's a possibility. And I am glad, because I did mention this before, but I am glad that the writers brought up the DNA situation when, they had Maxie bring it up to Felicia about the simple fact that, remember when Felicia tried to get that hairbrush with Cody's DNA on it, and I believe Sasha swapped it out with hers. I'm glad they brought that up, because I was like, that was kind of weird how nothing popped up on that DNA test that would show that she's related to Scorpios. But my whole thing is, if you do a test like that, even if it's with somebody that you're related to that's not your child, wouldn't there be some type of percentage that would pop up on one of them that would show that you're at least related? You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the weird part too. I'm like, nothing popped up, like zero, nothing. That was kind of odd to me. Maxie, I ain't gonna lie, Maxie was looking fine as shit today. Like, she always looked good to me, but today she was looking extra spicy today. I said, go ahead, Maxie. They had her looking good today, real good, like just scrumptious. Um, I know you like Maxie was shocked as hell when she found out Sasha and Holly were mother and daughter. Like, she was like, Sasha, Sasha. I don't blame her for being shocked, because this is shit. Talk about surprises. That was a major surprise. Um, that was such a huge, huge surprise. But you know what? Holly just sucks as a parent. Like, she's sitting there talking about when she had Sasha, she didn't want to give Sasha up the way that she gave Ethan up. But letting her live with the grandmother is the same thing as giving her up, though. And by the time Sasha was 12 and Holly took her out of the country and stuff like that to travel, by that point, by the time Sasha was 12 years old, she wanted nothing to do with Holly. And I don't blame her. Holly's lifestyle was not the lifestyle for a kid. You know what I mean? And Holly sitting there talking about, oh, well, I did teach her how to be a con artist. That ain't no shit to brag about, Holly. Teaching your child how to pull con jobs is not some shit I would want to brag. I'm just saying, like, that's not a good teachable thing, and then got the nerve to say, oh, she was a natural at it. I would have called DCF on her. I ain't lying. I would have called the people. Because hell no. There ain't no shit you brag about. But I'm glad, Felicia wasn't playing with her. She was like, listen, you need to tell Robert. And she was like, I will be calling him within the hour to make sure you did tell him. I said, I know that shit right, Felicia. Keep your foot on her neck, because it's time for her to come clean. Even though, Sasha beat her to the punch. But Holly is a shitty parent. Like, just straight shitty. And then on top of that, you left her in Landview with David Vickers. Girl, I really would have called the people on her for that. Just for that alone. David Vickers. Ought to be ashamed of yourself. Got her hanging out with his weird ass. Like, if you watch One Life to Live, you do not leave no kid or nobody with no David Vickers. Are you nuts? His weird, that man nuts. Anyway, moving on from that. I'm happy that Lil Violet finally moving out. I guess Finn got a job in Seattle, which is odd because Lucas just came back from Seattle, so I'm wondering if it's the same hospital. I would guess so. But I'm glad she going though, because BOQ, her and Chase need they honeymoon phase. But I got a feeling with the way BLQ was all sobbing and stuff and acting, they definitely about to have a kid of their own. They definitely about to. Because she got baby fever at this point, which is understandable. I mean, she got used to Violet living with them and stuff like that, so it's understandable that she would feel like, oh, it's gonna be sad, and she got used to a kid being around, so I get it. Um, my thing is though, so all these people know that Violet leaving. Does Liz know that Violet is leaving? Because I don't think they mentioned that. If Liz knew or not. Um, I am so glad that um what the freak Lois. I'm forgetting people's name now. I'm glad Lois got rid of that damn accent and she got her old accent back. Even though she said she was gonna use the accent like her, new voice for professional reasons. I'm cool with that, but you need to keep your accent. Like you need to keep what made you you. You know what I mean? But something is telling me that it's something surrounding Gio's parentage because the way they look at him and stuff and they make faces when they're around him, and then when Gio was helping, Violet pack and they were talking about parents and all that, the way Lois was in the doorway looking, I'm like, yeah, it's like Anvil's dropping. Like, what are y'all about to announce? Like, is BLQ really that boy mama? Like, I really want to know. Because that's the vibe that I'm getting. Like, who is he related to that y'all not telling? Because I definitely get the feeling. Um, but yeah, I could see BLQ trying to, possibly talk to Chase about having a baby and stuff and getting pregnant. I would have hoped that they kind of would have waited a little bit because they just got married not too long ago. So, but it is what it is. But I could see them popping a little sucker out. Or if Gio is, her son, then I could see, that causing a rift in her marriage. Um, I could definitely see Chase being a little pissy about that because I know I would be. I would be ultra tight. Like you had a child and didn't tell me nothing. It's something surrounding that boy paternity. It gotta be. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Hope you all have a great night. Have a great weekend. See you all later. Peace.